Sometimes when you're in a relationship with somebody, the other person can be your clear self, and don't you just hate that?
Oh, yes. Yeah. It's shocking how often they can be right.
And how often it happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a friend, she says, I'm not always right, but I'm always definite.
Yeah.
Some people, they're quite articulate and they convince you even if they're not,
Right. Yeah.
but they're inside something they're sure. So a lot of what we're dealing with is a social reality. Do you agree with that? Social reality, like it has to do with other people. It has to do with what they say, what they don't say. It has to do with what you think their intentions are. Okay, so we're pretty enmeshed. Okay, and even if you live in a cave, like people are going to show up and ask about that. You know, oh, he's not really helping out. He's just withdrawn.
I've heard people that have meditated for a long time and become very, I've felt that in my life at periods of time where I've been just nice and even, still busy and all that, but things are just great. Some people have said to me, well, I meditated lots, but it just sort of took all the passion out of my life. Like all the drama, it just changed it.
Well, drama is not necessarily passion.
Well, it's just
That's
that
what
excitement
that's
in life.
No, yeah,
But it's the excitement, like if you're so even-keeled and mellow and like, where's that?
So that's part of drive too, isn't it? Like the drama, the passion,
Yeah,
is the
that's
drive.
You would still feel joy.
Those
and
people were over-meditated.
They're over-medicated. That's it.
That's a good one.
Also, there are people who think that that's the goal, so they'll act like that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then they're sort of like they put up a buffer zone around themselves.
Yes.
So they don't really want you interfering with them.
Yeah, but life is both.
Life is both.
Life is the personality and the storyline and the clear self.
Yeah.
It's all of that. You can't exclude, because we're here. We can't operate that way. We
I
gotta,
guess, sorry.
Okay.
Meditation could be used as a crutch too, couldn't it? If you
Oh, definitely.
Like you
Yeah.
know, you can instead of dealing with stuff, like just meditate again. Right? That
Yeah.
kind of
meditate it off.
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. I met someone like that once, so yeah.
But isn't it like having a good sleep?
Sure.
I mean, meditating, isn't it like, I need more sleep or I need to meditate? I mean, isn't it a method, rather than,
Calms you, yeah.
yeah.
It depends what you use it for. There's an aspect of it that is to do with deep excavation. Like some people use it just to take the edge off. But I lived in India on and off for 20 years. It was not a picnic.
No.
We went on picnics. But it was hard. It was really hard and relentless. It was not anything that I would think of as like a rosy holiday.
My niece was just there and for 3 weeks, and
Yeah.
she travels a lot. So, she had different descriptives about that experience than of anything else.
Yeah.
Like I was angry, I was sad, I was,
All of that.
Yeah.
All of that. And some people, they will try and organize their life to not have that.
Right.
So they can look calm, but they've just buffered themselves. And a lot of times you'll see people as they get older and there are things that they can't control. They're very interested in controlling the few things left that they can control. And they don't want anybody disturbing that. So that's one kind of meditation. But there's another aspect of it that, it's like, say you want to have your car rebuilt. Then you got to leave it in the shop longer than it takes to do an oil change. But if all you got is 20 minutes, maybe they can give you an oil change and get you back on the road. But you may be not dealing with the deeper parts. So yeah, there's parts that if you're getting right to the bottom of your big issues,
Right.
that's no picnic.
No, I don't imagine it. My son was when he was in is it Malaysia, I forget, but he went on a 10-day meditation, no talking to anybody, I mean, that's
It's hard.
hard, you're dealing with just yourself, and your
Right.
own thoughts and your own emotions, and, yeah, so that would be a,
Meditation can be like a reset.
Yes.
So you can get to a point to reevaluate what's happened, what's going on, what am I doing?
Yeah. There's lots of ways it can be used, that's for sure. And you don't always get to control that either. And if you're in an ashram environment or some environment where there's a teacher, then there's can be an intensification of the whole process. And like where I lived, regularly somebody be going, okay, I'm done, I can't handle this anymore, I'm going to go home, I'll be normal, I'll get a job in the bank and I'll just... But
easier.
that's not even, but they think it's, I mean, they say it in the moment, but ultimately, maybe this comes back to the whole thing about intention. Because when I first started going and I got interested, I kind of wanted to get to the bottom of this. And it's like Alice down the rabbit hole kind of thing, right? It's not a straightforward thing, and there's a lot of misconceptions along the way too, I believe. Some of the things that I say in my meditation class now, I'm trying to address those misconceptions that it took me 30 years to get out of. 40 years. Primarily, the one about send your personality to the hammock when you're meditating. That's counterintuitive, because what we grew up on was try hard. So to send your personality to the hammock, it just seems like a sort of abdication of your responsibility to try hard. No, try hard and push through. No, you just send that part to the hammock. And then the natural part of meditation will have a chance to arise. Otherwise, you're not exactly meditating, you're just forcing something, or trying to force something, or trying to keep something from happening. And with that attitude, like, there's way more chances to be disappointed, or to want something. Like if you sit around with meditators and they start talking and somebody will describe some wonderful thing and you'll be thinking, oh, I want that. I think it's a kind of like advertising or marketing, or, you know, it's like provoking your desire. Don't you want to be enlightened? We started watching a movie last night, and these people around this teacher, and now they started to make him into something, and as if he would give them something that they don't have. So my whole thought is that inside every person has this free part. It's there by birth, not by merit. It means you didn't have to earn it. Since it's not by merit, you can't lose it based on your demerits. It's inherently part of who you are, but in our language and in our thinking, we don't have it as a thing. All we have is personality, and all we know is to try hard.
It's almost like, you know, when you're younger, I think you're probably closer to that. And then the personality kind of, you know, with everything going on, all your activity, it kind of clouds it so you can't see it anymore. It's almost like we have to regain it or somehow, and I think that's, you know, through meditation, I think you can say, oh, there it is, and then you get to know it better again.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to go through it. Because the personality development stage, you can't really avoid it. And I don't really think it's to be avoided. But you don't want to be stuck there either, right? So can you somehow go through it? And can you get to some place where you understand that there are natural places of cooperation between your clear self and your personality? Natural places of cooperation. I would like to pick up that subject right after lunch. Thank you very much. That was good. Let's have a good lunch and have a break, and we'll resume. That was excellent, thank you very much.